nothing better than being live this time of the year. NBA Playoffs, NHL, MLB, WNBA. A lot of stuff going on. Big day. All right, we are back live right here in Boca at the Podcast Junkie Studios. I am Scott Matthews, the host of this show right here, Get the Edge Sports Podcast. Man, do we have a busy, action-packed week of stuff going on. And I got my two co-hosts, one here and one in his main office. Not here today with us, but he will be on in a second. Let me introduce you to my man, Tommy King, a.k.a. TK Wins. What's up, TK?
Hey, what's up, Scott? Man, I made it in here today. As soon as I
Woo, look at that shirt.
As soon as the show finishes here, I'm out of here. I'm at the airport. I'll be out in Vegas. Have a nice Gordon Ramsay burger tonight by 11 o'clock tonight this evening.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our boy here, TK, is heading out west. He's going to be in Vegas for the next 4 days. Him and I will be doing some stuff while he's out there. So check him out. If you're in Vegas, he'll tell you where he's at. He loves to tell you. So maybe you could run into the one and only TK. All right. I wish he was here because last time he was here, he kicked me so good. It kind of woke me up a lot. But today he's not with me in set, but he's here with me in spirit. The CEO of the Sports Profits, Teddy Brooks. What's up, Teddy? Woo,
What's
look at
up,
that.
Guys? Yeah, Scotty, you said that you needed a little rest. Your shins and your shoulder was sore a little bit. So I figured let me give you a little bit of a rest there.
Don't worry, I got him today.
Oh, yeah. I got T on you. T sitting in your spot today.
He's sitting on my side. I see that. Keep the seat warm for me, T.
I got to start off by saying the one word, wow, with the NBA over the last couple of days. I don't know what's going on. They were like the vanilla milk of magnesia in my eyes. Everyone was forgetting about the NBA because they figured all these number ones and all these best teams were going to run through everybody. But how about these upsets, guys? I'm going to start with you, TK. What about what's going on right now?
Man.
It's Cleveland down 0-2. Boston loses to the Knicks first game. I mean, Golden State wins last night as a dog. What else is going? The other series, the Knicks beat Boston.
Man, imagine if you parlay these games, $100 parlay. Every underdog is won and covered. I think it's 8 straight underdogs have won and covered in the NBA. Might be a different story here tonight, though.
They needed it. They needed the spark because I'll tell you, the NHL is just so damn exciting this time of the year. And they were taking, a lot of people are into the NHL, especially what's going on with the games there as well. But I'll tell you, the NBA got a big spark with all these upsets. Teddy, what do you think of Cleveland down 0-2? I mean, would you ever, in your wildest dreams, being in this business, you and me, would you ever think the way Cleveland played all year and how consistent they are to drop the first 2 games on their home court against the Pacers?
No, this is amazing, guys. This is what everyone's been waiting for. This is what I've been wanting. I've been wanting some parity in the NBA, something to get excited about. And now, I mean, the Panthers are playing tonight, so I'm not going to be watching. I'm going to be watching that. But if the Panthers were not playing tonight, I'd be watching one of these NBA games because now we have some series now.
I can tell you. I can give you 2 words, Teddy. It's rigged.
Oh, come on. No. Well, why?
I wish he was here, Teddy. We go out. We got our theories. Teddy's not big on the NBA basketball.
Why is it rigged?
Come on. These teams, they did no way some of these double-digit favorites should even lose these games. I mean, just wild. I'm not saying it's rigged, but these lines are just been bad.
You just said it was rigged.
Well, yeah. But bad numbers, man. They're posting bad numbers. I don't mind because I had both dogs yesterday, so I'll take it.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's crazy. The numbers got higher on tonight's games than they were on Monday night's games. They're at 10.5, 10. They were at like 8.5, 9, 9.5 before. So they're going up a point or two. So they're really looking for the bounce back today. I mean, look, these are games I'm probably not going to touch. These big spreads, I don't like playing these big type of spreads, but it is very interesting. I think actually, to me, Cleveland might be the least surprising. Like, if the Thunder or the Celtics go down 2-0, that's going to be way more surprising to me than Cleveland going down 2-0.
Well, here's a question I'd ask you. Let's say all these teams lose tonight. They're all 0-2. Which one of these 3 powerhouses, Boston, Cleveland, OKC, advances, you think? Do they all advance? They come back from 0-2? One of them? 2 of them? Who do you think has the best shot at being down 0-2 if that's the case?
Celtics.
Celtics.
Without a doubt. Yeah, just because I think the Nuggets are they got Jokic and they got a team, and the Pacers, they have they're already down 2-0.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
I
think
would
the
have to say the
Celtics?
Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, T?
If
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Teddy. Go. You finish up, Ted.
No, I was gonna say if the Wolves go up 2-0 against, I mean, if the Warriors go up 2-0 against the Wolves,
Yeah, they ain't coming back.
It's going to be hard, but they do have Anthony Edwards. But the Warriors have the weapons, and the addition of Jimmy Butler could be a really big deal in these playoffs.
Well, their defense has turned amazing since the acquisition of Butler. Their defense has been number one in the league, right?
Yeah, we got Steph Curry. He's going to be out for at least a week, they say. So that's a big difference in that. But they really didn't even need him last night. They jumped out that lead.
No, because they got no support last night. They got Randall scored 18, but he was 0 for 3 from 3. His shooting percentage was terrible. DiVincenzo, was terrible last night. He scored 7 points for them. I think he was like 1 for 7 from 3. He's crazy, poor, terrible shooting night. Anthony Edwards scored 23, but it was a cheesy 23 at best. So, their players didn't come to play last night. When you play against a team like that has talent and knows how to get to the big dance, got players that have experience like Steph, even though Steph went out in the second quarter, Draymond Green picked it up. Jimmy Butler, they had a support around them. So it's going to be tough for Minnesota. If they don't get their A game going, get these players mixed in there, they're going to have a hard time against Golden State, my opinion. What's your thoughts? You think Golden State, without Steph Curry, has a shot to beat? I think they have a shot to beat them without Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah. Well, they definitely have a shot to beat them with Steph Curry. Without, we'll see. It's a tough call.
What's your take, T?
Yeah, Minnesota's already 11-point favorite tomorrow night. Minnesota should manhandle them tomorrow, just like the Celtics game here this year. I can't see the Celtics dropping two in a row to the Knicks, but I didn't see Indiana beating Cleveland for 2 either. But I'll watch this game here tonight. I'm going to have a play on when we get ready to give out plays. Scott, you always say never plays. I'm going to have a few games here today.
Okay.
Boy.
Are you on like one of those before you fly pills? Because you seem very mellow right now.
I'm ready now, man. I'll be having a couple of drinks.
I got to get him jacked up, Ben. What's going on with this?
I'm just checking out. I missed Teddy over here kicking you. So
you're blaming Teddy. Teddy's blaming you now. He's blaming you're not here now. All right.
The doctors, they'll give you one Xanax before you fly without even having a prescription for it.
There you go. He might he might need it. He might need it.
I'll be sleeping.
Are you good on the plane, T? I know I've flown with you before. I can't remember.
I go right to bed, man. As soon as I get on that plane, I'll probably watch the Panther game here today. Because I'll be rooting for Toronto and the over here.
Yeah, we'll be talking
tonight,
about hockey in a minute.
Are you taking the red eye, T?
No, I'm taking leave at 7 o'clock. I think I get to Vegas at 10 o'clock.
All right, okay. Guys, we got 2 games on tap tonight. We might as well finish up with the NBA. I don't know if you guys have any opinions on these games. Knicks in Boston, 10.5, 211.5 I'm showing. And Denver and OKC, big number again, 10.5 and 230.5. These teams can run and gun. We know that. Anybody liking anything on either one of those games or the total? Teddy?
I would stay away, man. It's you gotta remember these teams are they're looking for revenge. They're still at home.
Right.
I was contemplating maybe a teaser with the 2 favorites or something like that. Or maybe, if you money line them, you're still not really going to get great value. It's still going to be minus,
right? Pretty
big number. So, but I'm also not so fast to jump on giving 10 points to 2 teams that just lost outright. Well, I just can't bring myself to doing it.
What the crazy thing is about these teams? They've had big leads. The teams that got beat. OKC was up by 20-something. Boston was up by 20. Cleveland was up big in the first game and blew it. You don't see stuff like this from teams that were so strong throughout the entire year and it played so consistent that they blow these kind of leads. Even last night, Cleveland had a huge lead. They were up by 17 or 18 or 19, whatever it was, 19 points, and they gave it away again in the second half of that game. And, you just don't see stuff like that. It's weird because these teams usually just put the hammer on them and knock these teams right out. They blow them out.
If anything, you see the dog getting to an early lead and then the better team coming back at the end and winning or making it close. But you're right. You don't see the elite teams getting a 20-point lead and then giving it up
on their
which
home
scares
floor.
me.
On their home floor.
Which is why I just personally, and I know you guys might differ, I just don't see any value in any of these plays.
Oh, I see big value tonight. I think OKC wins this game by 17 to 21 points tonight. They blow them out. This series will be tied at 1 game apiece, no doubt about it. I just don't think Denver is going to be able to match up tonight for some reason. I just think that was a gift from the Lord above that they lost that first home game, OKC, and I think they come out smoking tonight at a whole different level. Watch them tonight. You're going to see the team that probably is going to be the team to beat. That's why they're the number 1 choice to win the NBA championship. So watch them tonight, because if they don't come out tonight and they go down 0-2, they're not winning this series. No way they're going to beat Denver 4 out of 5.
Boston put up 63-point shots in the last game. And
yeah, they missed a ton of them.
And they missed a lot of them. So, I mean, if they hit their threes, it's a totally different game. It kind of goes back to one of the reasons I don't love the NBA. It's a live by the 3, die by the 3 type of league. If I were to touch anything, I'd probably touch the over in the Boston Knicks game because it's a decently low number. It's not, super, super high. Mm-hmm. And I think that if Boston plays that same game that they played in the last game, but they're actually making the threes this time, I think that total can go over pretty swiftly. But obviously the Knicks have to make some shots too. And I think that they can. I think that they can play a fast game. I think that it can be a fast-paced game. And with a total of 210 to 11 and 211 and a half, 210 and a half, depending on where you're seeing it, I think this is where I see value here. So if I have to go with a play, there you go. Over in the Knicks Celtics game.
All right. And you're not doing anything
I'm
tonight?
playing. I told you I got to play tonight. I'm going to jump on this one here tonight.
All right, let's go.
I'm with you. I think you didn't say Boston, but I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics here tonight, minus the 10 right now. The Knicks are just 3-6 their last 9 versus Boston. They're 2-4 their last 6 on the road versus Boston. I'm looking for Boston to come out. They say they win this game by 20, 25 plus here this evening. I think they should just spank them here tonight. They want to come out with authority tonight. Boston win this game by at least 15 to 25 plus here tonight, just like OKC needs to do here this evening. Boston needs to stamp this one down here tonight. They will win this game by double digits here tonight.
What's double digits?
25 plus.
Double digits is already the line on the game. All right, double digits,
baby. They're winning this game by 15 to 25 plus.
Double means it's at least 20 because the line's 10. He's saying they're going to win by 20 or more.
They're going to lead at least by 20 plus. This game should be an ass whipping here tonight. Boston should run them out of the gym here tonight.
All right, Teddy, I did something yesterday. I know you weren't a part of it. With TK and I did something yesterday when we went live.
My boy Billy was watching not your friend Billy, TK. One of my consultants, Billy, that works for me. He was watching. I was in the other office, but I heard you guys. I didn't watch it, but I heard you guys. He was watching you live.
Let me tell you what we did. I did a poll. I asked the people on this, that were watching us, which team they thought had the best chance of going 0-2 between Cleveland. I didn't even get it out of my mouth, and Cleveland's already 0-2. But between Cleveland, Boston, and OKC, yesterday I asked that. Now already it's looking interesting because Cleveland's 0-2. Now you got Boston and you got OKC playing tonight. But I said, how many of the 3 you think could go 0-2? And a lot of the people said that they thought that 2 out of the 3 could go 0-2 out of the gate. They didn't say which ones, but Cleveland already.
What about Minnesota? You didn't include the Timberwolves in the poll?
No. I'm just talking about the number 1 seeds, the top seeds: Boston, Cleveland, and OKC. Yeah, that's what I was just referring to, those 3. But that's what makes parity. Listen, like you said, you love parity. You love it. You can't just have cakewalks. That's what the NBA was getting tarnished in the NHL playoffs. Was great because you had like 12 teams in the NHL playoffs that really had a shot versus the way the numbers were set up. It was about Boston, Cleveland, and OKC based on the numbers. And they were the dominating teams throughout really the whole entire year, the most consistent, dominating teams. So everyone thought that these series, and especially after the first series, Cleveland sweeps. It wasn't even a contest against Miami. Boston wins 4 out of 5. OKC sweeps. So everyone just figured the NBA playoffs, it is what it is kind of thing. But now with these upsets, it's bringing more attention in because people could see now maybe it's not about these teams. There's value enough to bet either that team or the opposing team. So that's what
it's
makes
going to be interesting to see how everything finishes in this round right here. Because if one of these teams do go down for the series, I think it's going to be overall good for the NBA. I think it's going to be something that the NBA needs. I think that the Knicks taking down Boston would be a huge story.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like you said, that the Timberwolves and Golden State, they're like what, 5 and 6 seeds or 6 and 7 seeds. So no one's super.
I picked them.
Super.
I picked them. Remember on the show, I said before the All-Star break, I said the team to watch in the second half of the season that could be very interesting was Minnesota. So far they're making me look good.
You did say that, but yeah, I mean, anyone wins that series, no one's going to be shocked. But even if the Nuggets take down OKC, the Nuggets have been there before, so I don't think it'd be as big of a shocker. But I think the biggest shocker would be the Knicks taking down the Celtics.
All right. That's it. I think we got it. We touched on the NBA. You guys gave your picks. TK loves Boston tonight to win by 20 or more. Let's see how correct he is on that one. I'm staying off that game. I love OKC. I think they win that game by 17-21 at least. I think this is going to be first ass kicker of this series for the favorite home team like that is going to be tonight for OKC. And Teddy, you had a lean on the total. Was it the total?
The over in the Knicks Celtics game, over 211.
All right, let's move to the NHL, man, because I got the puck, man. TK don't like this puck because it came from a Panthers game, so too bad. See that, T?
Well, you saw what happened the other night. We talked about it. What's going to happen again here tonight? But you go first on this one.
Well, I'm not going to go first. I'm going to throw it to my man because he's here with us, my boy Teddy. Last night, I had Carolina, man. I had to sweat my ass off, down 1-0 all the way to the third period. They come and tie it up with like 6-7 minutes left in the third. 1-1. What a great game that was. No offense, but, a hard-hitting game and playoff hockey all the way. Goes into OT. Boom. Get that W in overtime. That was a big play for us last night. So Carolina, again, no surprise. Great game in the NHL. And how about that game out in Vegas last night? Home team gets beat. I thought that Edmonton has a shot, to win that series because their experience, obviously, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Their experienced team, they got the best player in the world on their team, Connor McDavid. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And they got some good goaltending. Last night it was Pickard, I believe, that was in nets, not Skinner. So what do you think of that series between in the NHL, Ted, between Edmonton and Vegas? Now 1-0 Edmonton. Did you think that was a big surprise last night, or you thought Edmonton had a shot to win this series?
Nothing was really going to be surprising in this second round of the NHL. All these teams are good. All these teams match up. I mean, the odds makers' lines reflected. The biggest favorite is 130, 135. So, no, it didn't surprise me at all. The best player in the world plays for the Oilers. So whenever you have the best player in the world in any sport, basketball, hockey, baseball, not so much, football, you have the best quarterback in the game. The rest of the team might not be that great, but if you have the best quarterback, you're still going to have a fighting chance all the time.
Right.
So, no, it doesn't surprise me. What I think is actually interesting is that, most of these teams, most of these NHL teams, they rotate goalies. Like the Panthers is one of the only teams that they just keep that same goalie in all the time with Bobrovsky.
Right.
But the Maple Leafs, Stolarz, who used to be a Panther, he got knocked out, and you saw what happened once he got knocked out. The Panthers, the goals started dropping, and he's not going to be playing tonight. He's out again. Concussion.
Well, that's why you see the line. Panthers are minus 140 on the road after losing the first game. Panthers were the favorite to win that series, I think. What was the price on that series, T, at the beginning?
2-1, I think, around 180, 200, something like that.
They were around minus 200.
Just the experience and being the former champs, and when you're the champs until someone knocks you out, you're still the champ. But I'm surprised this line, I got to be honest with you, is minus 140 tonight. Yeah, I know the goalie switch, obviously a big factor in the game, but still, this Toronto team, no slouch. I mean, they're just as good as anybody out there, and they play consistent all year. Who do you like in this game tonight? Because the Panthers, to go down 0-2, I mean, hockey, it's kind of strange because home ice, the value of it, it's not as much as it used to be. If you watch these games, same with like Florida in the first round, they won all 3 games in Tampa. to clinch that series 4-1. So, I mean, it wasn't like it mattered whether they were home. The only game they lost was actually at home. But it doesn't seem like home ice really matters in the NHL. Edmonton showed it last night. Carolina showed it last night. I mean, it seems like anybody can beat anyone. That's what's so great about hockey, and it's so physical at this time of the year. That's what I love about it. What about yourself?
Yeah, home ice doesn't mean anything to me right now in hockey. We've seen it, like you said, proven over and over again. Listen, I hate to be a homer with this pick, but how do you bet against the Panthers with, number one, they showed what they're made of at the end of that game in the third period. They made it a close game. They could have gotten blown out, but they fought back and made it close. And I think they're going to carry that momentum from the third period into the next game. It's the same thing with like some of these teams in basketball that, you got to watch out. Like OKC and Boston, they both got crushed at the end of the game with huge runs. Don't think that can't carry over into the next game, which is why I think it's possible that we see one of these teams go down 0-2. So same thing in hockey. They put up the momentum at the end of the game. I can't bet against the Panthers. I'm putting a nice chunky bet on the Panthers here, and I'm probably going to have to go with the TK special in the over also. I might even
you got to save that. You got to save that for him. You know how that goes. You got to save that for him because I'm bringing him in right now. All right, what's your thoughts, TK, on these underdogs winning on the road?
I mean, it's crazy. 2-1 so far to start the NHL ones in the last 3 games. But
overall, they've been winning, though.
Yeah, they've been winning. But not, the Dogs going to win here tonight again. I'm going to go with Toronto tonight. Florida played some dirty, dirty hockey the other night.
Oh, God.
That player should have been suspended, a game or so for that hit behind the net. Come on, Bennett, come on. Got to hit him with the stick behind the net. I mean, that's just a cheap shot. They're hitting the guys against the wall late, not getting the calls. But I'm going to take Toronto tonight. And I'm also going to play the over. I'm going to ride the over till it stops, man. The over's just been slapping in. You saw what they did. And the Panthers wouldn't have made that comeback without that secondary goalie going in.
How do you know?
They went against Flores.
They were turning it on.
But look at the goalie. He came in, man. He was sitting on the bench all the time. He didn't know he was coming. He jumped in. He had to come in. No warm-ups, no nothing. Okay. He's going to be a little warmed up here tonight. He's got a little practice in. I'm going to go with Toronto on this one. I'm also going to play the over. No parlay on it, but I'm going to jump on the over. I'm going to take Toronto. Another dog barking tonight in NHL. Florida, let Toronto play a little dirty here tonight back on the Panthers.
I don't know about dirty, but whatever.
That game was dirty.
I'm jumping with Teddy on this one. I'm in Teddy's lifeboat. I love the Panthers tonight. I think they come back. I think they just got a slow start last time. They fell behind. They dug themselves into a bad hole. And I think they're going to come out strong tonight. They're going to come out very, very physical. Watch the hitting. Watch how this game plays today. I think it's all about the Panthers even in this series. I just don't see the Panthers going down 0-2. I think they're a good enough team, and they're well coached enough that they, it's not going to matter whether they're home or on the road. So I'm going to take the Panthers. I hate to lay 140 on a game like this, but again, this is a lean play, guys. Let me explain to you when I say a lean play. If you're a $100 max player, bet like $40 or $50 on the game. I'm not telling you to bet the house. This is not a game I'm putting out to guys that bet big money on these games or anything like that. So just have some fun with it. It's a lean play and like a half of a regular size, play that you would normally do. You agree on that, Teddy? You're not putting this out you actually are putting out the Panthers, you said, as a big-time play tonight, right?
No.
Oh, you're not?
Nothing big, no. Nothing big, okay. But I will say this. One thing I wanted to say, TK, I don't think Stolarz was the reason that the Panthers did so poorly in the first 2 periods of that last game because they didn't really get a lot of shots on goal. I think it was more their lack of shots. If you look at how many saves Stolarz had through two periods, I think he only had like 8 or 9 saves, where Bobrovsky had like a ton of shots against him. So I think it was more the fact that the Panthers just weren't getting the shots at the net, more so than that Stolarz was having the shutdown game.
I'm going to ask you one question, hypothetical to both you guys. If the Panthers go down, I'm not going to even ask him. Forget TK. Teddy, I'm going to ask you because you probably get a more biased answer than T because he's already rooting for Toronto anyways. If the Panthers go down 0-2, they coming back in this series or you can kiss them goodbye?
If the Panthers go down 0-2, it will go to 7 games still, I believe, but I'm not sure if they'll win it or not because it's going to be even though
you got to give me an answer.
Well, I think it's going to go 7 games. So do I think they have a chance? Yes. It depends on how they go down 0-2. It depends on how they play tonight. If they get whomped like they did in the first two periods of last week, I'm going to be a little worried. I'll be very honest with you.
Okay.
But if it's a close game that comes down to overtime or a shootout, then no, they're not out of it. But if they just crap the bed again, then that could be an issue.
All right, one final on top of that. If the series is 1-1, Panthers win in how many games do you think? This game, if they tie it up tonight, one game apiece, you liking the Panthers to win the series?
If the series is 1-1, I think the Panthers win in 6.
Okay, there you go. T, I know you hate that.
Well, it ain't going to be 1-1 after tonight anyways. It'll be 0-2, so don't have to worry about that question.
All right, there you go. He's hyped up.
One day we're going to get to the bottom of
the mystery.
It's like
it's like Geraldo when he went down to look for the missing treasure. Remember what was it? The safe he went to down.
Jimmy. He thought it was Jimmy Hoffa's tomb. That was one of them.
Al Capone. You were thinking Al Capone.
Yeah. Al Capone. Right. Yeah.
And it came out empty. It was empty.
There's nothing in there.
I think TK's got nothing in there. I think he just doesn't like the Panthers. That's all.
Okay.
He's just keeping a straight face, his poker face. He's making it seem like there's something happened, but nothing really happened. Believe me. All right, one other game tonight.
Hold on. I got one question, T. If someone put a gun to your head and you had to root for one Florida team, Panthers, Heat, Marlins, Dolphins.
Oh, I know.
Which Florida team do you hate the least?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
South Florida.
South Florida?
I know already.
Our area.
I know. It's got to be the Marlins.
Yeah, I'm not a Marlin fan either.
Well, which one?
I'd probably go with the Dolphins, man. If I had to root for a team, I'd go root for the Dolphins.
Okay.
Because especially if Aaron Rodgers comes to play for the Dolphins, man, that might be
that's a good lead-in.
I might be a Dolphin
TK
fan.
says his sources said Aaron Rodgers is playing golf in this area for the last couple of days with Dolphins personnel. I say it's coconuts. I mean, he's probably playing golf, but I don't think it's anything about coming to the Dolphins. First of all, you signed Tua for $200-some-odd million. Yeah, he's a liability because he gets hit, he could be gone. But what are they going to do with Rodgers? Just leave him behind?
And they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah,
they drafted a quarterback too.
I say Rodgers is done.
Listen, I don't think they believe in Tua. I don't think Tua's future.
They have to believe in him, Teddy. Think about it. They spent $212 million. How could they not believe in him?
Oh, you know who they drafted? They drafted Quinn Ewers, Texas quarterback.
Yeah, but still, they got to believe in Tua. They gave him over $200 million. Right?
Oh, I think they did when they signed him, but
yeah.
Well, they made that money back at Formula One this race just to pay him. So
there you go.
They don't have to worry about that.
Stephen Ross, a smart man. One other game before we jump out and go into baseball, because I want to touch every sport. You got a great game tonight. I'm surprised this line. I got to be honest with you. Dallas, Winnipeg, making Dallas. They opened at 125, 130. I'm showing them down to now 115. Dallas, first game of this series, playing in Winnipeg with a crowd that is like absolutely nuts. What do you think of Dallas being favored? I know they beat Colorado, but Winnipeg, best record in hockey, I believe, this year.
President's Cup curse, Scotty.
They got through it. They won in 7. They moved on.
Well, they won their first, but the curse overall is that the President's Cup winner hasn't won a Stanley Cup in I don't even know how long.
You think Dallas should be favored in Winnipeg though? On game 1, or the team that had they were dogs at home against Colorado. Colorado didn't even have the same type of record as Winnipeg. How is Dallas, unless there's an injury I'm not seeing? Is there any injuries on that?
Right now, but
why would Dallas be favored in Winnipeg? Because Winnipeg was the number 1 seed. Colorado, when they came to Dallas, was favored by 160 or more on each of those games in Dallas. Now you got Dallas traveling to Winnipeg, and they're making Dallas a small favorite.
Winnipeg has a couple defenders
banged
day
up.
to day.
Must be.
Josh Morrissey and Logan Stanley are day to day.
That's interesting value, guys, on that game. Interesting. I mean, is your theory put the gun to the head? If someone put the gun to my head, I'd be taking the Jets at home tonight. I don't know I don't know about the injuries, but I don't understand the value of this game because I got to be honest with you. I mean, I just don't understand why Winnipeg, they got the best goalie in the league, or second best, probably the best. You can go against anyone. They'll probably say that Connor Helbrook is probably as good as anybody there, if not the best. Playing in nets. Yeah, he's been a little shaky of late, but home first game, new series, Dallas favorite? I don't know. Something's wrong there. What do you think, T? You see lines like that?
I'm staying away from that game.
He's sleeping on me today. He's getting ready for that long trip. Guys, he's going to be in Vegas partying like a rock star.
No, man. Party. I'll be in bed early tonight.
There you go. You like anything in that game tonight?
I'm staying away from that game. I like Toronto tonight, man.
That's
I
it?
see the Florida going down 0-2, man. And that's just not just hating on the Panthers. Man.
I think it's hating.
I think Toronto at home, decent team against them. I think they're 9-10-1 against the Panthers at home right now.
Yeah.
So
are you guys going to be at that conference next week? There's a big sports conference down here, the SBC conference. I believe you guys are going to be at it next week down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, and so are you.
Yeah, we're going to all check it out. So if you guys are anybody in the area down there, come say hello to us.
Well, you know how much tickets are for that thing if you're not in the business like we are.
Yeah,
they're like $700-800 a ticket. So we're lucky to be in the business to be able to get to.
Thank you for the purchase. I appreciate the tickets, Teddy. Thank you.
There you go. You go.
Teddy took care of the boys here. He wanted us all together. I love it. Three Musketeers. We'll get down there. We should do a podcast from right there instead of coming in here. We could shoot it right at the SBC. I don't know if they make room for us, but
I'm sure they
probably
would.
not.
I'm sure they would.
The sound wouldn't be too good.
You don't think so?
We could do it from Whiskey Neat down there in Fort Lauderdale. It's right across the street.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if Ben's up for that.
Ben looks like he's ready. He's got the same face TK has on right now. He looks a little confused.
Yeah, we're
it's all right,
him
Ben.
to sleep.
Don't worry, Ben. We'll make it work. They got some pretty Ben. They got pretty women at that place. You'll be all right.
If Ben just started betting all the games that we put out on the show, he would be so much more entertained on a week-to-week basis.
Well, he just pulled up and
I thought about it, man. I've thought about this.
I saw him pull up with a new Mercedes the other day, so I don't know. Maybe he is.
I thought it was a Range Rover.
Wow.
I think it was a Range Rover out front.
Anyways, all right. So we hit the NBA. We hit obviously the NHL. TK's sticking with his defense. He's riding. He's looking for those Panthers to get out. By the way, did you bet against the Panthers in the series? Did you play Toronto?
I didn't take the series.
Why didn't you? Plus 160.
I should have did it, but probably the value right now is on the Florida Panthers at pick 'em right now to win the series. But I'll root for the over tonight. I'll root for the over.
I got an interesting concept, Teddy. Maybe you'll like this or you won't. If the Panthers go down 0-2, would you jump some money on them to come back in that series? Because you know you're going to get a hell of a price. Would you chase that series?
Why not? I've thrown money at crazier things.
Well, I'm just saying because you like the Panthers. I'm just, I would think you think the Panthers would probably win under normal circumstances. So if they went down 0-2, you're still going after them to come back.
I would consider it depending what the line was. I mean, listen, this Panthers team has made. I mean, remember the comeback against Boston a couple years ago? They were down 3-1. I mean, that was an amazing comeback. They don't call them the cardiac cats,
right?
For no reason, So they know how to come back. Lately, the last year or two, they've been playing from ahead a lot. They're one of the best teams going. If the Panthers are leading going into the third period, I think they have the best record of any team leading going into the third period. So if they're up after the first two, they don't teams don't come back on them very often.
Right. I got one last one I want to throw at you guys. I'm going to ask you. Cleveland, you thought Cleveland was winning that series from before it started, right, T?
Yep.
Okay. Would you bet them right now 0-2 and grab a price?
Let me check what the price is right now.
I'm asking you.
I would. I think Cleveland can come back and win that
Scotty,
series.
It's
plus 180 right now.
I'm asking you.
I would
you gotta
take it.
Listen. I was asking you. Would you bet Cleveland right now down 0-2?
Well, I would bet them at plus 180. Definitely would. Plus 180. Plus
okay.
180.
I think that's low.
Yeah, that's
a team down 2-0. I would want 250 to 300.
What was the odds before the series started for Cleveland to advance over the
minus
Pacers?
500?
That's all it was.
Yeah, minus 500.
I thought it would have been higher.
Minus 500.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So I think that's too low, right, Ted? Plus 180.
Way too low. Way too low.
I don't see the value there.
Absolutely way too low. I think it needs to be.
I don't see.
Like
value.
I said, like 250. I need to see minus 250, minus 300 for a 2-0 to come back. Yeah, 180 is way low.
All right.
Which goes to show that the odds makers think they're going to come back.
Oh yeah. Well, they're going to win. It's just a question of they're going to win the series, but they're going to come back and win a game or so. I mean, if they fall down 3-0, maybe they won't. But I think the next game is all or nothing for them. I mean, if they get down 0-3, sayonara. If they come back and it's 2-1, anything goes from that point. They could tie it up.
I agree.
And they're favored by 2 on the road on Friday night.
That's not a lot,
Yeah,
though.
it's not a lot.
No, that's a soft number, actually. All right, let's jump into, we're moving and grooving here. We got a lot. We're going to touch on the last sport, which is left for us to get in on. We got a bunch of day games today. Oh, hold on one second.
I was gonna say your audience members are saying, "What about MLB?"
MLB.
There we go. Because they know.
Yeah.
They know it's the best. They know it's the best sport to be betting on right now in the month of May, and that's why they're asking for it. I don't know about you guys, but I think you guys are all been pretty hot on. We've all been pretty hot on baseball, right?
Yeah, I've been consistent. I mean,
free picks.
There's a lot of these teams though are choppy. Have you noticed, Ted? This year with baseball, I mean, the 3 best records in baseball all lost last night. San Diego lost, Mets lost, Dodgers lost. Dodgers were like a 275 favorite to your Marlins that you can't stand, by the way.
How do you lose the Marlins for
So the 3 best teams in baseball, if you went against them yesterday, you could have made a lot of money because they all, if you put them in a parlay, I don't do parlays, but some guys love those parlays. But the 3 best teams in baseball went down yesterday. You know who's playing good ball is that Detroit Tigers quietly. They've been consistently doing well. They got one of the best records. Again, we're talking 36, 37 games into a season. But we got a full slate of games going today. We got a bunch that went off already. I don't know what you guys are looking at. I'm going to start with TK this time because I know. Are you ready for
I'm
baseball?
ready. I'm ready. I got a baseball game. I'm giving it away today, Teddy. I'm giving it away. That's our 3 games so far.
I love it.
I'm going in baseball.
I want to ask you something, too, when after you give the play away, but go ahead.
I'm going to go with Minnesota again. Minnesota line right now is minus 130.
Yeah, nice call
They're
last
playing
night.
Baltimore. I had Minnesota yesterday. The line jumped huge, though, yesterday. I put it at 145, went to 170. I'm going to lay it at 130, man. Baltimore, they're ice cold right now. 4-10 their last 14, 1-8 their last 9 on the road. Minnesota at home, 8-1 their last 9 at home. Only laying 130 here today. They got a good pitcher on the mound. So does Baltimore with Morton.
No, Morton sucks, man. He's 0-6 with a 9.7.
Yeah, but lifetime, you got to look what he's done. If you look at his lifetime.
Teddy, how can a guy be 0-6 with a 9.70 and he's still starting? This Charlie Morton for Baltimore is terrible. I mean, he hasn't had a good outing yet.
Yeah, but they're looking at history from the past.
Yeah, of course, he was a good pitcher.
Under that theory, how does Patrick Corbin still have a job? This guy, Patrick Corbin, I've bet against him multiple years in a row, and he's actually having a really solid season this year. So pitchers have bad years. Doesn't mean they're bad pitchers.
I like the over in that game, by the way. I would adjust it down to 9. I think that game, both those pitchers allow runners. When you have runners on base with bad pitching that are not consistent, somehow they produce runs. I think that game's going to be a high-scoring game, double-digit runs. I'm going to take the over in that total, T. That you like Minnesota. I like the over in that Minnesota game.
Well, hopefully Minnesota puts up 10 runs himself and wins 10-0. Over and there's 9 right now?
I'm showing 9, yeah. That's what 9 or 9.5, but I'm adjusting it to 9, and I'm going over on that. If it's 9, I'd even go down to 8.5 on an adjustment and go over the 8.5. Charlie Morton might just give you a nice little gift package himself, the way he's been pitching this year, because he has been terrible. I'm looking at some numbers on him, Teddy. Let me look at this. The guy's got a 9.76 ERA, 29 Ks, 21 walks. He's almost walking as many guys as he's striking out.
But what's his FIP? What's his FIP?
Well, his whip is 2.29, which is brutal, high.
That's bad.
Against the guy with a whip of 1.50, and he's struck out 30 and walked 11. These guys put runners on base. I mean, if it goes to form, listen, Charlie Morton could throw. He's a great pitcher in the past. He's been a very, very consistent, good, solid pitcher. He could get you some wins. But right now, he's just not in. He's not locked in at all, and he's not winning at all. And they're not supporting him at all. Obviously, well, you can't when you're allowing that many runs to support a pitcher. But I could see this game being a high-scoring game if it plays the form it should play it. And that's it on that one. Anything you do outside of that play?
That's it, man. Minnesota. I already played it early. Well, I already bet earlier. The game's already started, so I can't give that out.
This guy don't like to give games. Ladies
I gave 4 games today. 4 games.
Keeps them tight.
He keeps them. I don't know where. I think his mother's betting these games because I see her with the duffel bags in the videos when he's out of town. I saw her. I see her carrying the duffel bag. I think she's the one that's moving and grooving on the games.
Well, hopefully I carry one off the craps
That's
table.
what I love about Mama TK. Woo! Anyways, anything you're looking at in baseball other than that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
I'm
go.
loaded up. I'm going to load these guys up.
Don't load them up.
3 plays. Tigers, Rockies. I'm going to make it quick. Tigers, Rockies. You got 2 shaky pitchers, 2 questionable pitchers, but the Rockies starter, Chase Dollander, 6.49 ERA, putting on base 4 walks per 9 innings. And the Tigers have put up 7 or more runs in 4 of their last 5 games. In Colorado, I think they could do even crazier things. I think this is going to be a big scoring blowout. I like the Tigers minus 1.5, and I like the over in that game, over 9.5 runs, 10 runs, whatever it is, because the ball, we know it can fly. We know the ball can fly in Colorado.
That's a low number in Colorado, 10.5, right?
Well, the Colorado Rockies hitting is so bad this year that the totals have been like a run lower, 1.5 lower than average because of how bad their bats have been.
6 and 28. Oh my God!
Yeah,
wow.
I love going against them, so I'm going to go against them on the run line. I'm going to take the over in the game also, and then I'm looking at a game that I'm not going to really give much analysis on except for this. I had the Phillies last night. I watched a good chunk of the game. I watched the end of the game. They only used 2 pitchers in 2 innings from their bullpen. They barely touched their bullpen. They're going to have a fresh bullpen tonight, and they're going to do it all over again. So the Phillies, I'm going with them on the money line. It's like minus 130, 135.
It's moving higher. It's up to 145, 150 in spots.
I put my bet in and moved the line.
Yeah, the line was 120, 125 earlier. It's up to 145, 150 in spots. Yeah, that looks like an interesting play. The only thing I like is I like that total, as I said, and going over the 9 or 8.5 with the adjustment on that Minnesota total tonight. A lot of the games, like T said, went off already. This time of the year, 36, 37 games in, and we're starting to see what we're looking to see with baseball. What's your thoughts, T? Are you finding certain teams you're moving and grooving and kind of hovering around more now?
I think Atlanta's going to start making a little bit move in the MLB. I can't believe the Marlins won yesterday against the Dodgers. I'm the best team out there in baseball. But really no shockers out there so far. The teams that are supposed to be winning, they're winning. You know, that it should
not yesterday.
Well, not yesterday. White Sox big dogs
except
again
for
there
Detroit.
today.
I think Detroit won yesterday. Yeah, the White Sox are doing what they do best. The Colorado's doing what they do best. A lot of these teams, Teddy, if you noticed, like they kind of got even records. Like they won 18, they lost 17, or they won 17 and lost 18, or stuff like that. A lot of like even up records on a lot of these teams right now. It's tough to get a gauge on teams like that because they don't really go on long winning streaks. They win one, they lose one, or they win one or they lose one, or they might lose a couple and then they win a couple. You can't really. It's hard to bet teams like that, don't you think? You got to be really careful when you're playing against teams like that are playing like 50-50 ball.
Yeah, you just got to identify the spots. You got to figure out, if they're 50-50, you got to figure out what situations are they winning in,
right,
and what situations are they losing in. Is it a certain, is it when their bullpen is fresh, they're winning, but then, after they deplete their bullpen, then they go back to losing? Is it that? Is it that they're winning when certain starting pitchers are on the mound, but then they're losing when other starting pitchers are on the mound? So that's all the stuff that you got to look at. And that's the stuff that I look at every day. And there are teams that, like last night, the Twins with Pablo Lopez on the mound. That line, like TK said, moved from 140 all the way up to 180 on some sites. What I did, by the time I wanted to get my bet in, it was late, so I didn't want to lay that juice. And I actually, a lot of times my clients will tell me that the line has moved because I'll give them the game earlier in the day, and then I'll do other stuff, and I won't put my bet in yet, which is my mistake. I should put it in earlier. And then I'll come back and I'll see that the line is higher, because my client will say, hey, this line moved from 150 to 180. What should I do? And what I had a lot of my clients do was play them on the first 5 innings minus a half a run, which was only minus 125, and that cashed as well. So sometimes you got to look at the situation, look at the pitcher,
right,
and sometimes maybe you're going to get a better situation playing the first 5 minus a half a run.
Well, there's no better situation in baseball right now than the guy pitching for the New York Yankees, and I've never seen a start like this in all my years. Max Fried is just absolutely untouchable right now. He's 6-0 with a 1 ERA. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Talk about domination when you hand the ball to this guy so far since he became a Yankee. the guy has just come through. Nobody's getting to this guy at all. I mean, look, the numbers on this guy are just absolutely amazing. What he's done, so far this year, 6-0. Have you ever seen an ERA 1? I mean, I know it's only 6 games, but still, 6 games of total domination. I'd lay 185 with him against a team because this guy pitching tonight for San Diego, he's adequate at best. He's good, but he's not at this level. This guy's in a zone. Why would I not lay? And I don't care what the juice is. I mean, if it was over 200 or something, but 185 on a guy that's pitching this great and is locked into a zone. I mean, the Yankees exploded last night. They came out of nowhere and poured in 12 runs. I think this guy is just too good not to pass up on right now with Max Fried.
Yeah, Dylan Cease, he was great at one point. In 2022, he came in second for the Cy Young voting. But yeah, he's not the same pitcher right now. Max Fried, same thing. Max Fried was very, very, very good for the Braves, but he's not what he's showing right now. We've never seen from him before. But he was always, ace material. But what a pickup by the Yankees. You need pitching and you get potential Cy Young winner.
You can't get any better than that. Guy's 6-0 in his first 6 starts with them, and he's allowing 1 run a game. I mean, you don't need a lot of run support when you got a pitcher pitching like that. He's locked into his zone big time. But, the Yankees tonight, like I said, they're 185. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to probably play this game. But I wouldn't mind playing it. What the hell? 185 on a guy this good? I'll take a shot with it. Anything else before we go, guys? Because we kind of touched on everything. We touched on the baseball. We touched on the basketball. We touched on the hockey. And we know TK's going out to Viva Las Vegas. I'm kind of jealous.
I'm trying to get the Knights game tomorrow night. We'll see what happens, man. I got a big dinner tomorrow night, but I'm gonna try to hit the game before, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you'll love that. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. I think they got the drill going in here, Ben. What's going on? The espresso machine popping in?
Hey, guys, I have a question. Is there any chance is Garrett Cole definitely out for the year for the Yankees?
That's what they said before the season started.
Could you imagine Garrett Cole at his best with Max Fried at his best, both starting pitch? I mean, the Yankees would be really unstoppable if that were the case. That would be But, yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
The Yankees are a hit-and-miss team. One day they can score 12, the next day they can score 2. So, that's the problem with the Yankees. But
well, you saw yesterday, they scored 10 runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, have you seen that? I've seen that lately a few times. Detroit did it recently. A couple of teams that have had, monster innings, 1 inning scoring, double-digit runs. You don't see that too often, but it's been happening.
You do more now than you do more now than you used to. I think it's the way they move these pitchers around and stuff. You see it way more in the last couple of years than you saw it before.
Who do you think right now is the best team in baseball, guys? I mean, I know it's 36 games in, but if you had to make a pick at this point, 36 games, we got 126 left to go to be 162.
I would go Dodgers. I mean,
you think the Dodgers?
Yeah, I would say Dodgers. They can just get it done.
I already know what my
Dodgers.
I figured that. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say San Diego. I'm going to change it up on you guys a little bit. I think San Diego, I think they got a dynamite lineup. Their pitching's not as good, but they got such a great lineup. If they can get adequate pitching at best, I think they can hang in there, and they can end up upsetting the Dodgers. I know they play in the same conference, same division, actually.
Guys, this is important to pay attention to. Scotty just said he liked the Yankees over the Padres, but he's saying also that he thinks the Padres could potentially be the best team.
Max Fried, yeah.
You got to look for that's what I was going to get to. You got to look for your spots. You got to look for your pitching, because even if you love a team and you think they're the best team, they can go down any night. And, part of what we do is trying to figure out when they're going to go down.
Great point. 162 games a year. I was talking about this yesterday with a couple of guys that I work in the office with. 162 games a year. Think about this one. If you have a great season, you're winning 100 games. That means you're losing 62 games. If you're favored in most of those games, guys, you're not making any money at the end of the year. Think about it. If you're an average of 140 favorite and you win 100 games, which is phenomenal to do in baseball, we all know that, and then you lose 62 of those games, but you're favored in the majority of those games, you're not making any money, and you're 38 games over 500.
That's why you got to pick your spots.
Very important to realize that, guys. That's why I use my experience and my knowledge to look for certain situations to give me the edge. I don't play 180, 85 games, but Max Fried is so damn good right now. I mean, he's like the supermodel, in Major League Baseball. Everyone else is trying to get a job. He already has the job. So I would take a guy like that at 185 because he's just in such a good zone. Now watch tonight, he gets lit up. But tonight he allows 10 runs in the first inning and he's knocked out of the game. T, any comment on anything before you go? Because I know
man.
He's too quiet today.
I'm ready, man.
He's ready for Vegas.
I'm looking at time. I'm looking at time. I got to head to the airport and get the hell out of here,
guys.
Man.
I'm trying to carry this guy today. I'm trying. I don't know if I could lift him, but I'm trying.
You got some comments, TK. They're like, we love this guy. We need
Which one?
We need TK to talk more.
I'm a little beat up today, man. I got a lot on my mind today, so.
He needs to talk more, though.
Who's that? Is that my wife making that comment?
It says, it's Larzo.
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
Oh, yeah. Larzo.
We know Larzo. We hears us talk every day at the 5:30 or so.
Yeah. You're gonna do 5:30 today?
I'll try to do right from the airport before I take off. That's what I was just thinking. What else I got to do before I get home? That's why I'm a little quiet today. I got to think what I got to pack. I got to go. I got to pick up my shit at the house. I got Big George up. Got to head to the airport.
He's way out of here, guys. He's in Vegas right now.
Yeah,
Trust
I'm ready,
me.
man.
I know this guy.
I'll be at the craps table tonight by 11:30.
Oh, let's go to the craps table. I want to go to the craps table. I haven't been to the craps table in so long. I forgot what the craps table looks like. Actually, I went over to the casino the other night, and this guy had. I was gurgitating Teddy because I love craps and that's my game. But the problem with me is I'm spoiled. I'm used to playing alone, like a little baby, like an only child syndrome. So I don't play with the whole crowd on the table. But this guy had a roll that was so amazing. I mean, I could have probably made six figures on this guy's roll. It was never ending. It was like 30, 35 minutes. And he just kept hitting 6, 8s, 5s, 9s, 4s, 10, every number on the table, multiple times. I don't know. Are you a dice player, Ted?
I'm not. I'm a poker, blackjack, and of course what we do here is sports betting. But no, I play blackjack when I go. If I'm looking for like a table game, like
TK would have.
We all know these.
T would have loved it.
I would have a good run on that.
Yeah, he's a craps guy too,
T,
right?
I'm telling you, this guy had a roll. It was like crazy good. All right, guys. Well, we've gone overtime today. We touched it all. I love it, and I'm glad you guys, Teddy. I'm glad you could make it in with us. My man right here. Here he is, the one and only TK, Tommy, the Hitman King, going to Viva Las Vegas. Scotty M very jealous right now, but I'll handle it. I'll handle the fort. Don't worry, it'll be good. T. We'll be going live 5:30 today on Instagram.
If possible. If I get to the airport on time, might be 15 minutes.
Well,
later,
we'll let them know if we go live. Teddy, maybe you'll be around today. Maybe you can go live at 5:30 on Instagram. If TK,
very possible.
All right, Teddy's a busy guy. Teddy, we love you. Let us know where we can find you. More importantly, out there on social media, let the audience know.
Yep, you can find me right there. The Profits Pick, no S after pick. Look for the blue check mark. If you see the blue check mark, that's how you know you have the right account. You can go to the website, thesportsprofits.com, and guys, 10 winning weeks in a row.
Woo!
3 games.
Woo!
This is our 11th week. We're 1-1 so far this week. We're working on making it 11 in a row. Before this, our biggest streak was 7 winning weeks in a row. So this is officially our longest free game winning streak that we've ever had.
Congratulations, and I'm sure your people out there are loving life. They're getting these games for free. That's the crazy part.
A lot of people, like I was looking, like I had 8,000 views on the last one. A lot of the people that I've been talking to personally, hey Teddy, how you doing? Love your content, blah blah blah. Oh, awesome. How much are you up on these free games over the last 10 weeks? Oh well, I miss them. So they miss them. They don't bet all of them, and that's great. If
you sound like TK now.
Yeah, well, it's like, what do we do all this work for if you guys aren't following?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%. Guys, listen, we're trying to do the best job we can for you. Use our experience. I mean, we do this for a living. I mean, Teddy's doing this. Teddy, you don't have a side job. You're not like you don't have anything else going on.
This is all we do. This is all we do, guys. I saw a video today.
Look at the screen right behind him.
I saw a video today on Instagram, and it said, if you like to bet on sports and you know how to win, I'll teach you how to become a handicapper. I'll teach. So there's literally people out there just popping up left and right that don't do this full time. They just want to make like a side hustle,
right,
posting pics and doing all this shit.
Good luck.
This is not a side hustle for us. This is full time, 50 hours, 60 hours a week, dedication. So, hopefully when you guys are watching different pages, you can tell who's doing it as a side hustle and who's doing it full time.
You got it, man. I appreciate you being on with us this week. All right, here's my other partner right next to me with that fancy, fancy shirt. I came a little cheesy today. I mean, I wore a nice shirt, but nothing too colorful like my man. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Where can they find you? TK.
Well, the best way to find me, just go right to my Instagram, @TKWins.
Loosen up that button a little,
Yeah,
man.
it's all the way down, man. I'm ready to get the hell out of here today, man. I'm ready to go. They're all. I've been getting texts like crazy.
Right,
but you go right to me at @TKWins. You go right to my website, TKWins.com, or you just meet me right in the sports book the next 4 days. I'll be
What sports book? Come on, tell us.
I'm going to be at the Circa, the Thursday and Friday. I'll be at Caesars here tonight, playing at the dice table. So if you're on Vegas,
I got to take my production.
I'll be wearing the shirt tonight at the craps table. So you can find me right there.
I got to take my production crew. We got to head to Vegas tonight. We're going to shoot some content with TK. We might go viral with that content. All right, guys, listen, I'm Scott Matthews. I'm the host of this show. I love it each and every week, especially joining forces with these two guys. Got a lot of knowledge. I feel good about what we do here each and every week. Get the Edge Sports Podcast and check it out on Spotify, Apple, you name it, YouTube, obviously. Check out the show each and every week. You can find me on Instagram. Check out my new broadcast channel on Instagram, guys. It's Dynamite. We put out free stuff each and every day on it. Broadcast channel is on Instagram only, and you can check me out on my Instagram page, which is SM Sports Picks, PICKS, with the blue check mark. Make sure you get the blue check mark. Make sure you know it's me, because there's a lot of guys out there. Teddy knows it. TK knows it. I know it. They say they're us. They're not us. They're not us. The blue check mark makes it us, makes it official. Have a great day today. We'll catch you back here on next. Oh, you know what? I don't know what day we're going to be on here next week, because we're all going to be at the Sports Betting Conference in Fort Lauderdale. So we'll let you guys know when we're coming on. Make sure we put it out on our social media when our next show will be. We'll be back at you next week. Have a great day. Safe travels, T. Woo! Viva Las Vegas.